Welcome back to the Crypto's Key conversation. We're going to jump straight into the content here, starting with Mr. Huber's tweet talking about this SEC fines. I got the wrong mouse. SEC fines JP Morgan's subsidiary for deleting 47 million emails, some related to subpoenas. So I guess they're saying emails from early 2018. And then he says, let me get this straight. For more than 2 years, we have been put forward the quote unquote conspiracy theory that JP Morgan systematically bribed the SEC under Trump to obtain a regulatory monopoly for its own crypto technologies. Now it comes out that JP Morgan deleted 47 million emails for the most suspicious period before the Hinman speech, which just happened to be part of the current subpoenas and investigations. And they coincidentally forgot to save all the other text messages and reports during the Trump administration too. And then obviously he added a lot of the Twitter sleuths and the detectives we have in the community. And then there's a few other things I wanted to cover from this right here. It says SEC legally destroyed Madoff documents, other records, agency lawyers alleges. So this was back in August 18th of 2011, right? And then it goes, Mr. Huber says, it would be a dang coincidence if the SEC also suddenly suffered and pretty much a huge loss of certain data between 2017 and 2020. Trying to cover their tracks, but this somebody in the comments had hit it on the head. Where's it at? It's not on this one, but pretty much they were saying, things aren't deleted, exclusively and forever. There's a way to get to stuff. So we'll see if something comes out of it. But it's quite interesting. I like this one from Cowboy Crypto as well. It says, "Is Gary Cohn, the puppet master behind ETHgate?" It says Gary Cohn. I think it's Cohen. Yeah, let me say Cohen. Gary Cohen is risk and governance advisor at Sterling Trust Sciences since April 2020, just 8 months prior to the Ripple lawsuit being filed. Their only investor is DIFC FinTech Hive, DeFi, and we're going to say that, is also invested in FOMO Pay. FOMO's investors include Hainsky and Jump Crypto. Hashkey funded Prometheum alongside Wancheng blockchain. It says Jump Crypto is another company invested in FOMO Pay. Jump is also invested in Joe Lubin's Ares X, as well as Miston Labs, conveniently located in Chicago, where Wancheng America is located as well. So put some screenshots here. He continues, says Jay Clayton left Sullivan and Cromwell after suing Ripple and Garland House and Chris Larson, and ends up at Apollo, who was involved in the $300 million round from Miston Labs, led by FTX alongside A16Z's Bill Hinman and Coinbase Ventures. Kevin O'Leary, also an investor in Miston. I'm assuming Miston Labs there, and he got some screenshots here. Gary Cohen is also board member of AbbeyRx and vice chairman of IBM. This is where it gets thick. Cannon Partners is one of 3 investors in AbbeyRx, or Abrex, who is directly linked to Bill Hinman and Simpson Thacher. We got some screenshots here. Quote, when connecting dots with Hinman and mining equipment, the thickest line is the Canaan, the Chinese equipment manufacturer that introduced a new Ethereum ASIC miner in 2019. Hinman received millions from Simpson Thacher while at the SEC, who led the Canaan IPO in 2019. This is where Gary's Cohen's VP and IBM or IMB role comes into play. Filecoin founder Vinny Lingham, general partner at Multicoin, is also co-founder at Civic, who is an Enterprise Ethereum Alliance or EEA member. Matthew Rozak, founder of IMB, is invested in Civic through Tally Capital. Let me see what else he says here. It says Matthew's also Silk Road. Tally Capital is a BTC Inc. investor with Finbushi, who Vitalik Buterin founded with Bo Shin, and also Black One, which was founded by none other than Brock Pierce. Finbushi is also an investor in Block One. Let me come back out of here real quick. Then he continues down here, and then he connects like the whole plug and play, where Bill Hinman's son was director of enterprise tech, is invested in Evertos, which was funded by Hashkey, including others. Evertos president and co-founder Jay Jansky is also ex-Enterprise Ethereum Alliance EEA conflict. I mean, he's literally been crushing it. And it says now Gary Cohn has direct links to all the major players in ETH. This is clearly an attack on U.S. citizens from within, and it has the China flag there. I mean, it's crazy, man. How these Cowboy Crypto and the rest of the community has been connecting the dots, man. It's nuts. Tony Edward hits it on the head when it comes to Chairman Gensler and the SEC. It says, no one believes this BS from Gary Gensler is a corrupt regulator. So it says the SEC is hard at work implementing a regulatory agenda that protects investors, promotes capital formation, ensures the safety and soundness of capital markets, and more. So we showed a little bit of clips from the hearing in front of Congress yesterday. I forgot what meeting it was exactly, but we were showing just some of the, the hypocrisy and, them trying to deflect and beat around the bush and not answer questions. And just, there's actual Congress, men and women, there's legal minds, legal representation within the community that even judges under, presiding cases, SEC versus Ripple, case in point, that actually say, wow, there is no allegiance to the law, right? There's hypocrisy there. It's clear that they're not protecting investors. They're, set out to create their own reality in a sense, and they have their own agenda and their own narrative that they're trying to push. And this whole promote capital formation, no, you're pushing everything offshore. So how is that even a thing? And it shows ensure the safety and soundness of our capital markets. So safety and soundness of capital markets and protecting investors. So what happened with Do Kwon and Terra Luna, FTX, and Sam Bankman-Fried? You only went after them after the fact. And then they try to gloat saying, oh, we got Kim Kardashian. Who are you protecting? And then you try to go after Binance and then freeze the assets. Who are you protecting there? If they were successful at freezing Binance's assets, who was the one going to be hurt by that? Obviously, Binance CZ and Binance US was, but no, it was the everyday investors that had their capital on there. It's crazy, man. This is just shameful. And Cameron Winklevoss hits it on the head too. He says, almost feeling sorry for Gary Gensler must get so tiring talking out of both sides of your mouth. So he shows a screenshot here of May 6, 2021, where it says, exchanges trading in these crypto assets don't have a regulatory framework either at the SEC or sister agency at the CFTC. And then it has this one from Fortune Crypto that's on June 2023 that says they know how to register. And we've been showing video clips on, within the community and on this channel about like how Chairman Gensler, when he was at MIT, teaching these blockchain courses, he was saying, one thing, meaning like, the XRP and the Ethereums, may have been securities and, they could be seen, but they're not in a sense. And then, he had a different viewpoint on, I think it was like, something like 75% of the market, were commodities. They weren't securities, but now he's saying everything are securities. It's crazy, man. Obviously there's an agenda behind what he's doing, and he's fighting the fight for the incumbents and the people that are lining his pockets. This is from Watcher Guru. Says just an SEC approves first leveraged Bitcoin futures ETF. And JD says, I'm not a finance guy and I never claim to be. Before I make assumptions, is there a legitimate basis to approve a leveraged ETF well before a spot ETF? And then Caitlin Long came over here and says, warning to federal financial regulators, leverage and Bitcoin do not mix, period. And then she has another one where she says, for the 9th time, leverage and crypto don't mix, period. Rehypothecation is leverage-based financialization. It's the bad kind of financialization. It is especially dangerous with crypto and should be banned. Wyoming banned the practice for SBDI banks for good reason. So I looked up the word because I didn't know what it was. So it says rehypothecation is a practice whereby banks and brokers use for their own purposes assets that have been posted as collateral by their clients. Clients who permit rehypothecation of their collateral may be compensated either through lower cost of borrowing or a rebate on fees. So clearly they're like, oh no, this isn't the way to go. So waiting the game to kind of see what happens. As we know, we've been talking about, the domino tiles have already started falling with BlackRock, announcing that, their proposal for, I guess, we'll call it a bid. I forgot what they call it, but they're putting their name in the hat as to get a spot Bitcoin ETF, right? And that's the big data, if you will. So it says a $10 trillion BlackRock CEO. This hits our website was $3K for monetary policy and $600,000 for Bitcoin. So listen to this.
The hits on BlackRock's on our website was 3,000 on COVID, 3,000 hits on a monetary policy, and 600,000 hits on Bitcoin. So what that tells you is Bitcoin has caught the attention and the imagination of many people. Many people are fascinated about it. Many people are excited about it.
Yep. It's already started happening. I mean, we've already been, naming a bunch of, other big players out there that have been, throwing their name in the hat as well. So it's just a matter of when this thing really shoots off with the spot Bitcoin ETF and obviously the SEC versus Ripple stuff and all the other litigations that's happening. This is from the Crypto Basic. It says, Forbes declares impending 15 trillion Quake targeted at XRP and others. So, they're talking about with, the whole BlackRock interest in Bitcoin ETF potentially reshaping XRP demand. And there's going to be a lot of excitement moving forward within this market. And I wanted to cover this little tweet thread by Ripple. It says, adoption of CBDCs continues to grow with many of the world's largest central banks planning to pilot and launch their own digital currencies to complement the existing fiat currencies. Says some examples include the Central Bank of Montenegro recently revealed a pilot project for a CBDC with Ripple. Then you have Brazil. The central bank has announced its plans to launch a CBDC in 2024. Digital Currency Monetary Authority has announced the Universal Monetary Unit, or UMU, a digital coin designed to accelerate cross-border transactions. These examples demonstrate the future of money is digital. Discover how the transformation from the fiat to digital offers lower costs for basic financial services, increased security, accelerated payments, and reduced energy consumption. I mean, Ripple's big time. Yeah, we're really right over the target, man. I believe it. Coming over here at CoinGecko, we're currently sitting at a $1.2 trillion market cap, currently at 2.1%. Bitcoin sitting strong in that 30,000, just below 31,000 range. Ethereum sitting at 1,900. XRP sitting at 50 cents. We're still kind of waiting for judges ruling. But man, look at this. We're in the greed at 65. A lot of excitement ahead. But that's all I have for you. Make sure you come to the Crypto's Key Conversation YouTube channel. Subscribe. Follow us on Twitter at CryptoIsKey1. I really appreciate your support out there. With all that being said, stay strong out there and be safe.